Generations of wisdom, a father's lesson. Once upon a time, in a quaint countryside, there lived a weathered old farmer, his body weary from a lifetime of toil in the sun-scorched fields. His days, once filled with the rhythmic dance of sowing and reaping, had now dwindled into moments of tranquil solitude spent upon the creaky porch of his humble abode. Meanwhile, his diligent son, bearing the weight of the farm's responsibilities upon his broad shoulders, tirelessly tended to the crops that stretched as far as the eye could see. Each day, as the son toiled under the watchful gaze of the sun, he would steal fleeting glances at his father, whose presence seemed but a shadow of the man he once was. Useless, the son would mutter under his breath, frustration brewing within him like a storm on the horizon. What purpose does he serve now? His patience worn thin by the sight of his father's idle form, the son devised a plan to confront the perceived uselessness that plagued him. With determined hands, he crafted a sturdy wooden coffin, the sound of his hammer echoing through the stillness of the countryside. Dragging the coffin across the worn path, the son approached his father, determination etched upon his brow like furrows in the soil. "Get in," he commanded, his voice tinged with impatience. Without protest, the old farmer complied, his movement slow and deliberate like the turning of the seasons. As the lid closed with a solemn thud, the son began to drag the makeshift casket towards the precipice that marked the edge of their land, the earth crumbling beneath his heavy footsteps. Yet, as the cliff's edge loomed closer, a faint sound pierced the silence, a gentle tapping emanating from within the confines of the coffin. Startled, the son paused, his hands frozen upon the wooden handle. Opening the lid, he peered inside, his eyes meeting those of his father, who lay unmoved amidst the darkness. "What is it?" the son inquired, his voice laced with uncertainty. With a wisdom born of a lifetime spent tending to the land, the old farmer spoke, his words carrying the weight of generations past. "Throw me over if you must," he said, his voice a whisper carried upon the wind. "But heed my words, my son. Save this wood, for it may one day shelter those who follow in your footsteps." And with that, the son understood. The value of his father's presence, though no longer measured in the sweat of his brow, remained as steadfast as the roots that anchored their family to the land. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting shadows upon the rolling hills, father and son stood together, united by the timeless bond of kinship and the wisdom of the earth.